1 Peter 5, 8 through 9 says, "Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him firm in your faith, knowing that the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world." Paul says in 2 Corinthians 2:10, "Anyone whom you forgive, I also forgive. Indeed, what I have forgiven, if I have forgiven anything, has been for your sake in the presence of Christ, so that we would not be outwitted by Satan. For we are not ignorant of his designs." That word designs has to do with perception, purpose. There is only one purpose Satan has for every believer, and that is to destroy them. Satan hates those who love God. So we're not ignorant of this fact. And so he's talking about forgiveness. So one of Satan's purposes is to get believers to not forgive. Jesus lets us know in several different scriptures that if we don't forgive, our Father in heaven is not going to forgive us. So it's super important for us to understand how to forgive people, especially people who have hurt us. We have all experienced some type of hurt, whether it's from family, from friends, or from church people or leaders. And the hurt and the pain can be so overwhelming that you might think you can never forgive someone for something they did to you. And you would be right, because guess what? You and I both, we cannot forgive without Jesus Christ. It's in him that we do all things. So Jesus said in John 15, "Abide in me and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine," Jesus said. "You are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing." So with Christ, we can forgive those who have hurt us. Go to God and ask him how to forgive the people who have hurt you, because there is so much freedom in forgiving people who have done you wrong. When you forgive, you let go of that debt, that hurt, that bondage. And when you don't forget, you're harboring it. And that hurt is going to end up hurting you more, and it's going to end up hurting someone else. So when we don't forgive, we're doing what Satan wants us to do. And we're not ignorant of his devices, so we got to rise up. We have to think about forgiveness in a spiritual way. There's a spiritual war going on, and we cannot allow the devil to destroy us. So I'm not saying forgiving someone means that you have to be reconciled to this person. That doesn't necessarily go hand in hand, although God wants relationships restored and he wants reconciliation. However, if the person who has done you wrong is operating in demonic activity, then there's no way that there's going to be restoration, because what does light have with darkness? There's nothing in common there. So forgiving someone doesn't necessarily mean that you have to restore the relationship, but you can ask God to forgive them and to help you forgive them as well. And so I'm just asking that, if you are harboring this hurt in you and you haven't let it go and released it to the Lord and asked him to show you how to, really forgive the people who have hurt you and really see it from a spiritual warfare point of view, then I'm asking you to do that today, because you are going to be made so much freer, and there's going to be just an abundance of freedom that's going to usher into your life. And that is what Jesus Christ wants from us all. So go to God, ask him to show you if you've been harboring unforgiveness and just bitterness inside of you. Because again, when you don't forgive somebody, it's going to turn into something else. Bitterness, which is something we cannot allow to happen, because that's not where Jesus wants us to go, and that is where the devil wants us to go. So we have to be aware of the devices, and I'm going to be talking about more different things that happen that the devil uses to try to throw us off. But today I'm talking about forgiveness. The devil doesn't want you and I to forgive people who have hurt us, but we, through the power of Christ, can forgive anyone and everyone who has hurt us. And then we can walk in the freedom that Jesus has ordained for us to walk in.